Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have another update, breaking news segment. And this is going to be an amazing live stream because it's all happening real time. Every single day, we are going and we're just every single day vindicated. Every single day there's something, whether it's Bruce or being an intermediate. Number 4 at the DOJ under President Obama. Being an intermediary for a fake news dossier that BuzzFeed is suing the DNC to obtain information about. It never ends. Then you have, they lost Ohio. Then, God bless him, Julian Assange is going to be testifying to the Senate Intelligence Committee. It's it never ends. It's all crashing down. Bud Drake, you said it better than I did. And to my super chat, thank you so very much for keeping, giving me the incentive to keep doing these live streams. They're so fun. They're so awesome. We have such a great time. I have the best people. I sound like Trump when I speak like this, but I have the best people watching this live stream. I know that I have people of all different backgrounds, all different ethnicities, everyone. That's the thing. You're going to hear a lot of propaganda today. Oh my God, Trump is this, Trump is that. There are going to be more minority, a greater percentage of minority voters voting for Trump in 2020 than in 2016. Close to 30% of Latinos, close to 10% of Black voters, close to 30% of Asian voters voted for Trump. Around over 20%, 25% of, around 25% of Jewish voters. Eric H526. Eric H526, thank you. Hello, Holland, everyone. Love you all. Have a great weekend. The NSA knows I got, and I'm wearing the HA Profanity Alert t-shirt. Nice. Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you. Joseph Arbuckle. Hey, ho, let's go. Joseph Arbuckle, thank you so very much. So it's all about the hit poop meets fan. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a matter now because we have giant 757 planes getting funneled, getting just filled with evidence in Little Rock, Arkansas. Dana Peterson, thank you so very much. So it's not a matter of if, ladies and gentlemen, it's a matter of when. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That's the thing. Not if, when Hillary Clinton gets indicted. Look, I keep saying this, and I'm going to get to Trump called Peter Strzok, James Comey, Andrew McCabe a bunch of losers and clowns, which they are. But notice how he says his lover, Lisa Page. So in the tweet, I'll read you the tweet, but the tweet, Trump says, Peter Strzok's lover, Lisa Page, the lovely Lisa Page. The lovely Lisa Page. So he's like, hey, you know what? You can go and continue to flip and sing. So we know that she had already flipped against Peter Strzok. In the testimony, they were asking her, well, did he mean this? And she was like, yeah, he meant that. So, I mean, it could be perjury, but it's contradicting everything he said, especially when he was Gomerized. You don't want to be Gomerized. That's the thing. In life, not just in politics. Don't get Gomerized. Okay? Every day, in the back of everyone's mind should be not only prosper, not only have a great day, but at the very least, don't get Gomerized. Because when Louis Gohmert unloads, it's game over. It's game over. So we have close to 400 people 4 minutes in. And I'll just read you. So this is one article. Trump renews attacks on clowns and losers. I love it. I love it. And people, so this is a Mike article. People were like, oh my God, he's so unpresidential. Oh, he's so boorish, as they sip their Merlot or latte or whatever. Oh, he's so boorish. I wish that he wouldn't be so brash and belligerent. Oh, I can't believe it. Well, that's exactly what I want. Okay, you're talking to a guy who was pummeled by the DNC. Pummeled. Okay, I wrote over 100 articles in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, saying that Bernie Sanders it was better than Clinton, that Clinton would lose to Trump. I literally titled articles, Why Clinton Loses to Trump. Hillary Clinton is unelectable. Nobody listened. They thought I was crazy. DNC not only squashes and pummels and obliterates and destroys Bernie's movement. They force him to capitulate. He capitulates, folds without a fight. $200 million. $200 million just disappear. Just no longer there. And if it wasn't for Jared Beck, Elizabeth Beck, and Nico House, nobody would take legal action. They're taking legal action. Jared Beck, Elizabeth Beck, and Nico House. $200 million stolen from voters. Okay? Now Bernie's movement is one, can't say it, one issue. Single payer. Fine. Like I always say, look, I have an uncle in France who had open heart surgery. It's like $150 the whole thing. It would be a good thing to have, to not worry about going. Alexander M. Gonzalez, you should upload your videos to Facebook so they can play automatically, and you'll get more views instead of posting your links. Thank you, Alexander M. Gonzalez. Thank you. I will look into that. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. What was I? Oh, yeah. So now it's one issue. One issue is single payer. So we have single payer, and we're told by a lot of people, Bernie Sanders, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a bunch of people, well, this is going to save lives. This is going to save lives. Okay, well then explain to the world how it's feasible. If you can't have single payer, by the way, if you have Max Boot in the Democratic Party, and you can't have single payer, by the way, if Bernie gets cheated and he doesn't fight back and he doesn't say, I'm leaving, I'm not campaigning for you, Hillary. No, the Russia myth is a bunch of nonsense. You cannot have single payer if you don't speak out against the Russia myth, if you don't defend your voters, if you don't go ahead and say, hey, listen, this is a corrupt political system that is pretty much run by Hillary Clinton via Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Tom Perez and Nancy Pelosi and all of them. You cannot become part of the Democratic Party and say, well, maybe we can work from within. Organizations that are fostering Bernie's new movement or whatever got crushed. Most of their candidates lost. That's a fact. Republicans won in Ohio. They're going to win, like I stated in my RT segment. They're going to win. They're going to keep control of the House and keep control of the Senate. The polls are already, one poll shows a tie. And I called it way back in May, just like I called Tony Podesta being under federal criminal investigation because of the Mueller probe. The Daily Caller article I wrote 2017. Just like I called Clinton losing the election. Just like I said from day one, the whole Russia thing was complete and utter nonsense. I never believed, ever, and neither did you, if you're watching this, that Trump worked with Russia. So you have two giant planes being loaded up with evidence. It's a matter of when, ladies and gentlemen. DOJ doesn't just send planes to Little Rock, Arkansas for its health. Ladies and gentlemen, you're a human being, I'm a human being. Hillary Clinton is a human being. She's not omnipotent. There's nobody omnipotent. There's nobody all-powerful. There's nobody who can continually and endlessly commit crimes, whether it's RICO laws with the Clinton Foundation, which is what Giuliani was talking about, or whether it's Espionage Act laws, that, a server outside the United States government with top secret and special access program intelligence, whether it's campaign finance violations that I wrote about also. So, if that takes place, that'll also be a good article. But pick a crime, any crime. Nobody knows exactly going to be indicted on what statute, but she's broken a whole bunch of statutes, legal statutes, laws. And we have 500 people. 10 minutes in, it's going to be a good segment. So let's just read this. So, and like I said, also, ladies and gentlemen, the media is the last to know. You got to understand something. Like, when you're called, let's say CNN reaches out to you. Like when I've been on CNN, MSNBC, RT, and what happens is the producer reaches out to you via email or they'll call you or whatever. Producers run the news nowadays. CNN is not run by, people who want the truth. They're run by producers, like directors of a show, like a reality show. And when Trump says fake news, it's not the reporting of an actual event. The events take place. It's the analysis and spin. So, yeah, the WikiLeaks, DNC, and pedestrian emails took place. The spin was, oh my God, the NSA is moderately confident, and Russia hacked the DNC. How do we know? Because CrowdStrike. It's the most overt conflict of interest. So stupid. It's so ridiculous. Obviously, they're hiding. They never gave their service to the FBI, and they only used a firm that they paid for. And in terms of the planes, it's a pretty overt. The DOJ, nobody has control of the DOJ plane except the DOJ. Hillary's influence in this government right now has been reduced to a phone call with certain people that she knows. And those people, their influence has either been completely destroyed. They're either under investigation. So James Comey, Andrew Mccabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, all of them are under investigation. Bruce Orr is now going to testify. Look at all the spinning plates that are falling. It's not, with H predicts or with H, I don't need to ask riddles. I give just information that's public record. Noam Chomsky said the public record is enough. Speaking of planes, you see the plane that was stolen today was okay. Thank you, Vance. Thank you, Vance. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Vance. Thank you. Thank you, Vance. So it's not a matter of if Clinton gets indicted. It's a matter of when. So I'll read this. Trump renews navigating Trump's America. So the whole thing now is Trump's America. Do you really want Trump's America? Oh my God. Trump's America. So Trump's America. Trump renews attacks on clowns and losers of the FBI and Twitter rant. President Donald Trump on Saturday threatened to get involved in a conservative activist group's effort to obtain Andrew McCabe's text messages suggesting that the clowns and losers, and by the way, Andrew McCabe was given money from Terry McAuliffe. Terry McAuliffe was the governor on this fateful anniversary a year back, who basically, let's put it this way. Police don't stand down unless they're told by the governor or somebody with that type of authority. So Terry McAuliffe is slimy in a whole bunch of ways. He was also under FBI criminal investigation, and they swept that under the rug too. There's so many overt crimes, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many overt crimes. Janice Webb. Hi, HA. I've been watching since the primaries, and you've been right all along. However, when I watch regular news outlets, it's easy to be pessimistic. Janice Webb, because the thing is, they're run by producers. Rhonda, Iowa girl. Thank you, Rhonda, Iowa girl. Thank you, Rhonda. And Janice Webb and Rhonda, it reminds me when you talk about the regular news outlets, and Iowa girl Rhonda. James Comey was in Iowa not long ago. not long ago, and he was like, the growth is good. The agriculture is doing very well in Iowa. And everyone was like, you are a criminal. You're a real criminal. And you might be a psychopath, Comey. No one cares what you think about the growth in Iowa. No one cares what you think about Iowa and cornfields and the growth and agriculture in Iowa. James Comey, this is why Janice Webb, Rhonda Iowa girl, you both reminded me of, well, what is it that people gravitate towards? The most vapid, ridiculous, dumb things. Alexander M. Gonzalez, I misplaced my beer. Hashtag locker up. Thank you, Rhonda Iowa girl. Thank you, Janice Webb. And Iowa, again, will be the center of politics. And guess who won Iowa? Trump. Bruce Tamazuski, for a brief moment, I thought that was Hillary flying the storm. DOJ plane in Olympia. You'll never catch me. You'll never catch me, coppers. You know, and then you see like Bill like on the thing with the ground. He's like, I told her not to take the plane. She wouldn't listen to me. She's out of her mind. I gotta do a little bit of that. I told Hillary, I said, this is not your plane. We have other people's planes, Uranium One. We don't need this. We don't need the DOJ plane. By the way, you look really cute. What's your name? Headset. That's what I'm looking for. So Janice Webb, thank you. Thank you so very, very much for always watching. Thank you. The news outlets are the last, like, oh my God, Clinton lost? Russia! Oh my God, Russia's fake. Something else. It's just money for them. Janice, it's just money. They make a lot of money. There's a lot. My channel would be at 200,000 if I was like, yeah, you know, Russia, there's something to it. Rhonda Iowa girl, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very, very much. Iowa, interestingly, is the center of American politics. It's just the center of American politics because it's for a bunch of reasons. But Stephen Z. H.A., you may have a point about President Trump being like the proverbial boa constrictor. Thank you for the show. Yes, Stephen Z. Thank you so very, very much. I was telling my wife yesterday that, I was telling her about boa constrictors and how on this, she didn't know what I was referring to. And I'm like, can you believe boa constrictors? They actually have to freeze mice. So yesterday when I was talking, or the other day when I was talking about Trump being a boa constrictor, and I looked at boa constrictors, they freeze mice. And then for young boa constrictors, you freeze baby mice. It's crazy. Could you imagine? But Stephen Z, thank you so very much. I think that, so Janice Webb, Rhonda Iowa girl, thank you. Stephen Z, I do think that, and thank you for the kind words, I do think that Trump is like this boa constrictor that's slowly wrapping itself around. And see, ladies and gentlemen, also, Bill and Hillary are not worried about being on trial. They don't care. So I can tell you that Hillary does not care about being indicted. If anything, many Democrats will twist it into, see, she's really human. So, Hillary knows the chances are very high that she's going to get charged with the crime. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when now. So, and when it happens, I predict around a 4,000 person live stream. Because my live streams now are 700 to 1,200. And I only have 116 going on 117,000 subscriber channel. So I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Definitely be here for the live stream when she does get charged. Waitona Soulier, thank you so much. Thank you, Waitona. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Watona. Sullier, thank you. I mean, could you imagine? And that's the thing. It's important to remember. Hillary Clinton is a human being. A human being, like I keep saying, is not omnipotent. We all are bound by mortal, human restrictions in life. Okay? And the writing is on the wall. The time, I believe, is on Trump's side. So time's on Trump's side. But all right, President Trump on Saturday threatened to get involved. Get involved, declassify, do whatever he needs to do. He's going to get involved in a conservative activist group's effort to obtain Andrew McCabe's text messages suggesting that the clowns and losers in the FBI have something to hide. The clowns and the losers. Why isn't the FBI giving Andrew McCabe text messages to Judicial Watch or appropriate government authorities? FBI said they won't give up even one. I may have to get involved. Do not destroy. That's in caps. What are they hiding? McCabe's wife took big campaign dollars from Hillary people. So they're hiding the criminal behavior. And Trump knows this. The thing with Trump is that he is a lot smarter and a lot more brilliant than people think. And his brilliance is not necessarily tied to being book smart, although he's probably a lot more intelligent than anyone gives him credit for. There is a brilliance in Trump, and there is an extreme amount of brilliance, intelligence regarding his wisdom. He possesses wisdom, a great deal of wisdom. And I just got some really, really cool information. Okay, wow. Regarding her servers. That's coming to a conclusion also. Look, ladies and gentlemen, when it goes down, when it happens, just remember that you've been at the forefront. You've been at the forefront of all of this. And it's going to be so great. It's going to be so amazing to finally be vindicated 100%. And all the people, I'm talking all the people in message boards from Reddit to Democratic Underground to all the message boards who hate me, who think I'm crazy, to all the journalists who hated me, who think I'm crazy, to all the viewers and people who've read my work who think I'm crazy, and Hillary Clinton, who is a human being like you, like me. When she gets indicted for the crimes that she's committed, pick a crime, any crime, it's going to be unbelievable, because then they're going to turn on a dime. They're going to jettison her. Do you understand? You're dealing with snakes and really cutthroat people. Alexander M. Gonzalez, you give him too much credit. Democrats to me is stupid. They are stupid, yes, but they're powerful, Alexander. It's difficult to outmaneuver this monolith, this enormous monstrosity called American media. And he has not only outmaneuvered, he basically controls them via his actions, and he knows that. They cannot defeat the guy. They cannot defeat him. And so his brilliance is not necessarily like book smart. His brilliance is intuition. Intuition. I'd rather have intuition than, extreme intelligence on an SAT test or whatever. intuition and wisdom allows you to live a long time. Intelligence and hubris gets you in bad places real quick. Truth Hurts 18. Guys, check out at Truth Hurts 1980 for details on Clinton Foundation subsidiaries and contributions. Thank you, Truth Hurts 18. Thank you, Truth Hurts 18. Thank you. And let me tell you, comic book smart is great. I love comic books. I grew up with comic books. The Avengers, X-Men, X-Factor, Spider-Man, Hulk. You know, one of my favorite is X-Men. One of the favorite series of all time is X-Men Mutant Massacre. I don't know if you guys remember that. But, you know, I just, there's something to be said. Aquaman is great. It's just, you know, there's something to be said about not just being street smart, because you can be street smart and do stupid things. There's something to be said about having good intuition and wisdom. Trump has good wisdom. He has good intuition. We have a good economy now. We haven't destroyed a country like Obama destroying Libya. He's now taking care of all the corrupt officials in the FBI. And there's something to be said about all of this. So when he's going ahead right now and he's like, you know, calling these people losers and clowns, they are losers and clowns. But you also have to understand he's very good at psychology as well. Why do you get into the FBI, ladies and gentlemen? What type of person, number one, gets into the FBI? Number two, what type of person becomes the top of any organization? I'm talking about the military, the FBI, GE, Microsoft. What type of person moves up the ranks? A guy like Peter Strzok, who will sit there and take abuse and just smile and be confident. The type of person that almost, not everyone, but a type of person who will sell their soul to a bureaucracy and then morph into the bureaucracy and try to and utilize it to go ahead, you know, kiss behinds, move up the chain, be a yes man, yes woman, but at the same time take liberties. The type of person that slithers up. You don't walk up a bureaucracy. You don't walk upstairs to become the top of a bureaucracy. You slither up. And the interesting thing with Trump is that he is insulting McCabe, Comey, Strzok, all of them, because he knows also what type of individual is the average FBI person. It's the type of person that is more or less a straight-laced, maybe not all the time, but a person that wants to be part of the prestige, the number one law enforcement department in the country, agency, you know, a storied history. You know, what type of person joins the FBI? So now when he clowns them, and he calls them clowns literally, and he insults them, it's like the beginning of the end in terms of not only their image, but he's publicizing their crimes. And he's making it more likely that they flip and sing and whatever. You know, when Democrats were saying that Manafort and Gates and Michael Flynn, who's an honorable man who should be free, who should never have had anything, that was a setup with Flynn, and Strzok interviewed Flynn. But the Dutch lawyer, all of these people, Papadopoulos, they never flipped and sung because there was nothing there. It never happened. Trump did not collude with Russia. It never happened. It never, ever, ever happened. So when he asks, what are they hiding? The president added, so let's just read you again. The people who are going to flip and sing, we already are seeing it, are the people who are in the crosshairs politically of Trump. Why isn't the FBI giving Andrew McCabe text messages to the Judicial Watch or appropriate government authorities? FBI said they won't give up even one. I may get involved. Do not destroy. What are they hiding? McCabe's wife took big campaign dollars from Hillary. Will the FBI ever recover its once stellar reputation, so badly damaged by Comey? McCabe, Peter Strzok, and his lover, the lovely Lisa Page. The lovely Lisa Page. He's kind of saying, hey, do you want to become a reality star? Do you want to write a book eventually? Do you want to get out of this mess, Lisa Page? Because Strzok's going down, McCabe's going down, Comey's going down. The Office of Professional Responsibility is already looking into them. We know that because Christopher Wray said so. The Office of Professional Responsibility, and this could all take place at once. You can get Hillary being charged, or you can get all of these people being charged before Hillary's charged. Then you have flipping and singing. Then you have just, this channel, even with the live streams, because it grows at a snail's pace. It grows at a snail's pace with the live streams. The super chat gives me every incentive, but if I didn't do super chat and I just did uploads, I'd be at 130,000 subs now. Whatever, it doesn't matter. This is enjoyable for me, and it's so fantastic. And like I said, the super chats, gives me every incentive to keep rocking it. But even with the super chat, once Clinton does get indicted, and she will. I mean, who knows? It could go to 150,000, maybe 200,000 eventually. Who knows? That's even with the even with the live stream. And we'll all be part of live streams of 2,000 people on average, and on good days 3,000, 4,000. So it's the media is always the last to know. So why isn't the FBI Andrew McCabe text messages to Judicial Watch or appropriate government authorities? So why isn't the FBI giving Andrew McCabe text messages to Judicial Watch or appropriate government authorities? He's representing Judicial Watch, and congratulations to Tom Fitton. He should be at millions of subs. Judicial Watch just hit their 100,000 subscribers, so they have the same plaque, but they're going to get hopefully 1 million subs within a couple of years. Judicial Watch is awesome. Everyone subscribes to Judicial Watch. They're amazing. And when it all goes down, Tom Fitton should get the MVP award. Without Tom Fitton in Judicial Watch, and without people like Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows and Devin Nunes and Louis Gohmert to Gohmerize people, you would not have this just the peeling of all the layers of all the insanity. You would not have that. You would not have everything we know now out. You would not have that. You wouldn't have that, because the thing is, the media is simply not only is not suspicious, the media does not care. The media does not care, number one, and wants to shield, like they've always done, wants to shield Clinton. They are beholden in every single possible way to Clinton. They are beholden in every single possible way. And they don't want to talk about Loretta Lynch and oh Lord. So this is ladies and gentlemen, I was just sharing my debate with Richard Spencer, because there's the whole anniversary. So here it is. And go ahead, share that, especially if you get people pontificating And here's obviously the anniversary of a horrendous day that unfortunately was used. Well, I don't even want to get into it. It was utilized by the Democratic Party in the most nefarious purpose. But here's my there's my debate with Richard Spencer. And I went ahead and debated Richard Spencer, whereas most people on the left, almost everyone on the left, did not. Yet they're going to pontificate, and they're going to all that stuff. So anyway, I get away from that topic because it is what it is. Everything's a euphemism, and everything's an image. And everything bad started under Trump. It didn't start under Obama. And all the horrendous things that took place under Obama, whether it's Standing Rock or whether it's, just Dylan Roof, just one of the most evil things you could ever imagine. All of this is, it's like, oh, well, Trump started everything. No. This happened under Obama. These things happened under Obama. And it's all a matter of optics for Democrats. It's all a matter of, I won't get bogged down with the Democratic Party. One of the reasons, oh my God, ads everywhere. From the moment that they lost, no, from the moment that Hillary Clinton ran to the moment they lost, it's like Matt Fields, they're building a cell for HSC very, very deep in Siberian. The Siberian bog. That's why it's taking so long. Have a box of two. Thank you so much, Matt. Have fun with your new AR. Thank you so much. I have to, I have to go ahead, and it's like now I can only go like once every 2 weeks. But thank you, Matt. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it looks really cool. I can't wait to show everyone. It looks just really cool, and I've already noticed, because I have an AR and an AK, and I've already noticed the difference just in terms of, I really enjoy the AK a lot, but just in terms of, my goodness, obviously the cost of the 223 is a lot more affordable. Also, it's a lighter rifle, much lighter. And I know that I've already shot my buddy's AR, and it's an easier rifle to shoot. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So thank you so much, Matt Fields. Thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. But you have right now, and also, like, I don't understand. This is interesting. What will happen to the Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens debate with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? I hope it happens. I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think it'll ever happen. But I hope I hope one day it would happen. Because you need to have that discussion. You need to have that debate. Yes, I have a HA Second Amendment channel. So if anybody wants, if you just type in HA Second Amendment, you can see that. So me with all different firearms, and it's cool. Yet another thing that I've gravitated towards and I love now, and it's just the Second Amendment is very important to me now because it's like a part of who I am as an American. It's a part of who I am as an American citizen. It's very important. We're the only nation where the government, it's not just government allows, it's a right that we all have that is part of our humanity even before our government was founded. Alexander M. Gonzalez, Ben Shapiro, and Candace Owens will rebuttal anything topic, the importance of learning to read. Yeah, they'll rebuttal that. Bernie 2020. Alexander M. Gonzalez. No, I mean, I don't think that's the case, to be respectful. I think that they just have a different viewpoint and they're ready to rock and roll. They're ready to rock and roll. You know. My thing is, if you're ready to rock and roll, do so. Don't just say, oh, well, this is a really important policy. This will save lives, and leave it at that. Because if you speak to the choir, you preach to the choir, you're not going to go ahead and get what you want. So the great thing that I really enjoy about this channel. Thank you, Eric H526. So this is really cool. Eric H526 got his profanity alert shirt. If you want a profanity alert shirt, they're selling on this channel. Actually, you just go ahead and click on the link. But one thing I love about this channel, and one thing I love about the people who watch and the viewers who watch this channel, is that there's people from there are progressives who still watch, and there are Trump voters, there are libertarians, there are independents, and everyone is united by the belief and the hope, but it's also now the belief that Hillary Clinton will get charged and indicted with a crime. The issue with that is once that takes place, it's probably the best thing that happens to the Democratic Party. Max Morrow, I have seen JFK, MLK, RFK, and Reagan's justice. The Clintons have the FBI and DOJ on their payroll. Max, you make a great point. You make a great point, but I think that with JFK, with MLK, and with RFK, so I don't believe the official narratives with JFK or MLK or RFK. I'm not saying that they're the people who assassinated them didn't. What I'm saying is I think that the official narrative is missing a whole lot. It omits. There's deception by omission. Even I think Martin Luther King's family did not believe that James Earl Ray acted alone. So MLK family, James Earl Ray. Why? So this is history.com. Why Martin Luther King's family believes James Earl Ray was not his killer. This is so Max, you bring up a great point. However, with JFK, MLK, RFK, I think there was a system at play. With the Clintons, they're just human beings, and the people who they relied on to keep them out of jail are actually being investigated themselves. So I see your point 100%. And I agree with you. I agree with you in that this is not about justice so much as it is about, like, in the mafia, there's people turning on people left and right. And it's just a matter of how power is wielded. Dr. King's son says family believes Ray is innocent. So this is 1997. In an extraordinary face-to-face meeting in a prison conference room, James Earl Ray told the youngest son of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that he did not assassinate his father, and the son, Dexter Scott King, told Mr. Ray that the King family was convinced of his innocence. So this is just really interesting. As Mr. Ray seeks to clear his name before dying of liver disease, Mr. King's assertion reflects a remarkable evolution by the family of the slain civil rights leader. This is a New York Times article. This is the New York Times. So I think that I do agree with you, Max. You bring up a very profound point, and it's a very, very profound point. But I think that what we're dealing with now and JFK, you know, so that's so that's the New York Times article. And JFK, Jesse Ventura has a great point that even Carlos Hathcock, the best sniper in U.S. history, tried to use the rifle, the bolt-action rifle. Now that I'm, you know, into firearms and love the Second Amendment, I can kind of understand how difficult it would be to go ahead and utilize, I think it was a Carcano. What was the rifle used by Oswald? So Jesse Ventura tried to duplicate the 3 shots within 7 seconds. It was around 7 seconds, and it's like impossible. Moving. And according to Jesse Ventura, even Carlos Hathcock couldn't do it, which was crazy because he's like the best sniper ever. It was a Carcano infantry rifle, and it's said not to have been a really great rifle. So that too, I agree with you, Max. I agree with you. So there's a lot of like questions, obvious questions. The official narrative, I mean, we would still believe that the official narrative with Bernie was that he was never ever cheated. But I think with Clinton, it's a little bit different in terms of it's a little bit different. You have a situation where there's a lot of people involved in all of this. There's a lot of people involved who are now being investigated themselves. It was a mail order $20 rifle. Exactly. So it wasn't a very good rifle. And now I know, like, as I've shot a whole bunch of different rifles and handguns and revolvers and semi-autos, and I know that it's very, very difficult to shoot even at 10 yards. A moving target is even more difficult. Then with kind of a crappy bolt-action rifle, well, there's a lot of great bolt-action, of course, the amazing like sniper rifles that are bolt-action, but this was not a very good one. Apparently, this was not a very good one. And how far away was Oswald from? How far away Oswald from JFK? So the book depository, 240 feet. So that, I mean, that's really tough to do. A moving target 240 feet away with a rifle that's not that great, and a bolt action rifle, and you have to fire so many rounds so quickly. It just doesn't make any sense. So Jesse Ventura is right about that. Yeah, like a Lee Enfield or Springfield. Those are really good, amazing storied bolt action rifles. The Carcano is apparently really crappy. And then, I mean, 240 feet away, that's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. And I think something like Oswald was did not even get the highest certification, something like that. So then there's the magic bullet theory. Well, you know, there's a whole lot to it. So Max, I do agree with you. But with Clinton, it's like, well, look, Mccabe. Alexander M. Gonzalez. I appreciate that. Thank you. So the interesting thing with what's going on here. So let's just go ahead. McCabe and Terry McAuliffe. So Andrew McCabe was given $700,000. And of course, you get this fact check. Trump wrong about campaign donations. Well, let's go ahead. How can you? So factcheck.org. Let's just read the best case scenario for Democrats. Twice in 2 days, President Trump falsely tweeted that acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe's wife received $700,000 in campaign donations from Hillary Clinton. It wasn't a bribe to Clinton. It was a donation to her foundation. It wasn't a bribe from Clinton. It was a donation from Terry McAuliffe. The factcheck.org on everything to do with Clinton is hiding behind semantics and missing the forest from the trees. The nearly 675,000, not 700,000. Well, first of all, according to Dick Morris, there was hundreds of thousands of other dollars that came from other Democrats, not just Terry McAuliffe, donated to Joe McCabe, who unsuccessfully ran for a Virginia state Senate seat. So why would you take money from a guy who was Clinton's money man? Everyone knows that this person was Clinton's money man. Terry McAuliffe had an FBI criminal investigation. So, I mean, that's the theory. And also, just really quickly, getting back to the JFK thing, once you start shooting and getting like involved in firearms, and I mean, I'm by no means an expert, but I enjoy myself. I can, handle myself pretty well with a whole bunch of different firearms. But one thing I learned is to be humble. Number one, obviously safe. Number one, and humble, but also number two, like the anomalies, like some things that like don't hardly would ever take place. Like you learn this like percentages, like that there are no magic bullets when you're shooting. It really is pretty straightforward what takes place. I mean, sometimes, like you'll see different things at the range, or you'll see, but like you know that, okay, this is a problem. Like if you hit the top of, the target, like what holds the target. If you're the top, the bullet can fragment and then actually ricochet back, and you see people get hurt sometimes. That's why you try to focus and not mess around, or a whole bunch of different things. But not like bullets don't change trajectory. Even if people are seated in different locations, like it's still the anomaly is not the norm. You know that what I'm trying to say is you see a whole lot of rounds being fired and they're going in one direction, and it's not feasible that kind of, oh, well, this could have happened. Well, if the chances are low, then you should probably come up with a different story. If the official story relies on an extremely low possibility of something taking place, especially with firearms, then you should probably look for another explanation. Jesse Ventura actually has a great discussion, great discussions on all that stuff. So McCabe's text messages are being withheld from Judicial Watch, from the United States, from the American people. The reason is because they implicate Andrew McCabe in a whole bunch of ways. But the backstory for all of this is Trump wrong about campaign donations. This is factcheck.org. So this is the best case scenario for Democrats. Twice in 2 days, President Trump has falsely tweeted. Okay. But it's still, everything implicates Hillary Clinton. So McCabe's wife received $700,000. It wasn't 700, it was 675,000. Okay, that's still horrible. Who unsuccessfully ran for Virginia State Senate in 2015, came from the Virginia Democratic Party and Common Good VA. The latter is a political action committee of Democratic Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, a longtime friend and supporter of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. But a fundraiser, a key fundraiser, that's the issue. The issue is that he's a key fundraiser for Bill and Hillary Clinton. We previously wrote about donations in October when Trump mentioned during the campaign rally. That time, he brought them up in a series of tweets in which he criticized Attorney General Jeff Sessions for not removing the current head of the FBI. Well, this is obviously earlier. We know what happened, so McCabe lied under oath. Problem is that acting head of the FBI and person in charge of Hillary investigation, Andrew McCabe, got $700,000 from H for wife. That is accurate. That is accurate. Did Hillary Clinton pay the money? No. Terry McAuliffe gave the money to ensure that Andrew McCabe would not indict Clinton. That's obvious. That the conflict of interest is like an overt conflict of interest. You take money from the top fundraiser of the political opponent, or you take money from the top fundraiser of someone you're investigating. That's it. That's all you have to. The Clintons hide behind semantics. There's always with Clinton and anything to do with her scandals, always plausible deniability. But there's no plausible deniability with Trump. Everything's like, oh, we really know what he's up to. We know what he's up to. That Trump Jr. meeting is not an example of a crime. There was no criminal activity. He didn't even get the emails. And if he got the emails, it would have shown that her server was hacked. So I mean, let's continue. So but the contributions didn't come from Clinton or her campaign. And Andrew McCabe wasn't in charge of the FBI's investigation of Clinton emails at the time of the donations either. So what? See, that's the problem with everything to do. They have this whole like Clinton rules thing, like, oh my God, she's treated unfairly. No, it's the issue of plausible deniability and lack of suspicion are two hallmarks of every Clinton scandal when investigated by the left or by liberal journalists or by the mainstream. It's always like, well, it didn't come from her. It came from her top fundraiser in government. Okay, so it came from her. Don't say that it didn't come from her. It's like saying, these are the same people who are like, Manafort's going to flip. Manafort, he was the key guy. Manafort. It's like, well, there's nothing that Trump or Manafort have to do with Russia collusion at all. At all. But suddenly, but this guy, Terry McAuliffe, and associated PACs give close to $700,000. And Andrew McCabe is investigating Hillary Clinton, and this money is coming from Clinton operatives and allies, and you can't put two and two together. God forbid. God forbid you put two and two together. You'd be unfair to Hillary. Meanwhile, with Trump, a Dutch lawyer was sent to jail. I think missed the birth of his kid because he lied to the FBI about something, and this has something to do with Trump Russia. They make the most absurd leaps of logic when it suits them, and they fail to make the most logical conclusions when it doesn't suit them. They hide behind semantics, they hide behind technicalities, they hide behind minutia when it implicates them completely. But when it's Trump, they'll make the most extreme leaps of logic. The DNC was hacked. How do we know? Because CrowdStrike said so. Well, it wasn't CrowdStrike outsourced by Hillary Clinton and the DNC? Well, yes, but it's respected. Yeah, it's respected because the DNC respects it because it corroborated exactly what the DNC stated. Well, you don't know that. Well, what I do know is that the DNC did not give any of its servers to the FBI or anyone in the U.S. government because it had something to hide. Well, you don't know that. It's like, yeah, that's the thing. You don't know a lot because of the suspicious, overt conflicts of interest, suspicious activity that correlate to conflicts of interest. It's like so overt. It's in your face. And they hide all the time. It's like they're not even good at corruption either. They're not good at propaganda, corruption, winning. They're just a giant dumpster fire. But here, Joe McCabe's campaign received $467,500 from McAuliffe's PAC, and another $207,788 from the Virginia Democratic Party. Okay, all linked to Clinton. All linked to Clinton. All linked to Clinton. So it's all linked to Clinton. And they won't get away with it eventually because it's not sustainable. None of this is sustainable. None of it is sustainable. Common Good Virginia gave $803,500 to state Senate candidate Jerry McPike, who won this race, and $781,500 to Daniel Gecker, who lost this race. The donations were all a part of failed effort by Democratic government to help Democrats take control of the state Senate that year. Well, okay. There's no evidence that Clinton had any say in contributions to McCabe's campaign or even knew about them. But that's like every single scandal. Of course there's no evidence. What do you think she's going to do? Write a letter saying, hey, money man, fundraising person, biggest fundraising person who worked for my campaign and is beholden to me like everyone in the Democratic Party. Go ahead and give the number 2 in command of the FBI, give his wife close to $700,000. This way he'll do everything possible not to investigate the Clinton Foundation, which, by the way, he told FBI agents to stop investigating. Or he basically said, well, under his watch, the FBI had Clinton Foundation investigations, and then suddenly, they halted the investigations, and he lied under oath regarding the Clinton Foundation investigations. The Office of Professional Responsibility found that he lied under oath regarding his leaks to the media, which were self-serving. They were self-serving. That's why he lied under oath. Max Stokowski. I hear Hillary is trying to run again for 2020. Why? Max Stokowski, Max, because that is one way she doesn't. That's one way she doesn't get elected, and that's one way she circumvents being charged. Because she will be charged with a crime. It's not an if, it's a when. And that's what she does. She is into power. She loves power. That is, she lives and breathes power. And she doesn't think. If you ask Clinton would go ahead and run even after being indicted. She wouldn't mind running even after being indicted. So, I mean, that's, so Clinton, she has no shame when it comes to these things. So there's no evidence that Clinton had any say in the contribution. There's no evidence of Trump Russia. Literally no evidence. It's all hearsay and gossip. The NSA's moderate confident assessment is not evidence of anything. It's an opinion. It's an opinion by intelligence officials that have stated that their opinions should not be confused with fact. It even states that in the warranty disclaimers. So it's hilarious. So also McCabe had lost the election by the time her husband, became deputy director of the FBI in February 2016. So what? I love the timelines. Joy Reid did this with Uranium One. Well, don't you know the money was given before the scandal? Yeah, so what? This person's rising up the FBI. You have a pretty good sense of where this person is going in the FBI. You have a pretty good sense that the deputy director will be McCabe. You give McCabe the money before he becomes FBI director. This is politics 101. It's not even that difficult. But again, the reach, the maniacal attempt to just be completely and utterly fair. Whereas with Trump, it's, oh my God, he did this. We know it, but we have no evidence. James Clapper said, I think that he worked with Russia. When asked, is there any evidence? No, there's no evidence. But we think he did. And then we find out, by the way, that, the DNC is being sued by BuzzFeed. Why? Because BuzzFeed does not have any evidence, or enough evidence, I should say, to defend itself from defamation lawsuits. That's in the Hill. So, you could look at the Hill right now. Let's see. So, Red Shield. If Hillary, Red Shield, if Hillary runs, I have her campaign slogan. Hillary 2020, 3 times a charm. Exactly. Oh, I love it. So, hold on. Let's just see here. Oh, wow. This is great. Donald Trump. So you believe Nellie worked for Fusion and her husband still works for the Department of Justice. I have never seen anything so rigged in my life. Our RG is scared stiff and missing in action. It is all starting to be revealed. Not pretty. IG report soon. Witch hunt. Wow. Then hundreds of bikers for Trump just joined me at Bedminster. Quite a scene. Great people who truly love our country. Wow, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. The big story that fake news refuses to report is lowlife Christopher Steele's many meetings with Deputy AG Bruce Orr and his beautiful wife, Nellie. I love that. He doesn't want to diss anyone's wife, so it's so great. Nelly, it was Fusion GPS that hired Steele to write the phony and discredited dossier paid for by Crooked Hillary and the DNC. And he's saying beautiful Lisa Page and beautiful Nellie Orr because he's like, hint, hint, spill the beans, ladies. Because you can either be the beautiful Lisa Page or you could be Strzok's mistress. You decide the public relations spin, not me, says Trump. So Trump knows exactly what he's doing. He pretty much knows, like, he knows what's up. And so BuzzFeed, DNC. BuzzFeed is suing the DNC over issues involving the Russia. So this is Vanity Fair. It's also in the Daily Beast. It's also in the Hill. Robert Mueller's investigation into ties between Russia and Donald Trump's campaign maneuvers mostly in secret. But the infamous dossier at the heart of the scandal, which was compiled by Christopher Steele on behalf of an intelligence firm, alternately retained by a conservative. Oh, yeah. No, the Free Beacon had nothing to do with any of this stuff. And they've made it clear. And members of the Clinton campaign, yeah, the Free Beacon retained Fusion and then ended their involvement, and then the Clinton campaign, and then Christopher Steele, and then the dossier was compiled. Had nothing to do with the dossier. First, there was Monday's juicy foreign policy story revealing that BuzzFeed, which published the dossier in early 2007-16 and subsequently sued over it, recently commissioned a team led by former top FBI. Yeah, well, that's not going to work out. And set to trek all over the world. That's a waste of money. Simply just understand it wasn't hacked. I'll save you tens of thousands of dollars. It wasn't hacked. Wait until Julian Assange's testimony with the Senate before you, whatever. Why am I helping BuzzFeed? In a nutshell, BuzzFeed believes the DNC has information that could show a link between Gubarev and the email hacking, which would undercut his libel claim. But the DNC says, no, not going to help you. Not going to help you. Not going to help you at all. So that's the thing. It's like, it's just unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable that you have a situation right now where you really have no evidence of anything, to the point where even the publication, one of the most important publications in this whole sordid affair, one of the is suing the DNC. Crazy. And it's so Red Shield, yeah, 3 times a charm, exactly. Alexander M. Gonzalez, yes, the Iranian One video it's like, everything is like, well, you know, there's no way to really prove anything. And then CNN, neo-Nazi says he's emboldened by Trump. Oh my God, really? You found one crazy person emboldened by Trump? Was he? But then how come hate crimes went up in 2008? The election in 2008 when Obama was elected. Oh my God. Oh my God. Nobody's emboldened by anyone. Crazy people aren't emboldened by anyone. They're just crazy. Oscar H. Forgive me for my honesty, but I can't lie to myself and say vote Trump 2020 just to get back at the Dems. They are both horrible, and they both love distracting people with their false fighting among themselves. Oscar H., you know, I see your point, and I respect your point, and I respect you, and I thank you for supporting this channel. I thank you for supporting my voice, and I respect you. I have no issue whatsoever with your statement. And in many ways, your statement is correct. For me personally, because you make a very powerful point and it's poignant, and there's no way that I can just go, yeah, because look, when Bush was in power, destroyed the planet, Obama, Libya, and then DNC, and then emails. And all. Yes, both sides take turns at being evil. I have no issue with what you say. I only respect what you say, and more power to you. If people don't want to, if people don't want to vote for Trump because they don't think it's a worthy enough endeavor to get back in the DNC, I respect you on that. My issue also, though, with voting for Trump is not just about the DNC. It's ensuring that neoconservatives like Max Boot don't take over the Democratic Party. Once the Democrats kick out Max Boot and Bill Kristol and Robert Kagan and all the neoconservatives who raise money, once the DNC removes itself from that kind of neoconservative mentality, well, the foreign policy, the neoconservative foreign policy, hating Russia, all of this is fueled by the same people who said going into Iraq was great. They've slithered from the Bush administration into the Democratic Party. So now the Democrats have the social justice warriors and the neocons, and they can just play both sides. They go, well, we're really nice people, but we're hard too. So we have the hip, down, cool SJWs, but also the really crazy militant neocons. They can go ahead, and that doesn't work though. That whole thing, and I knew that from a long time. It wasn't going to, but yeah, I'm voting for Trump also because he is exposing James Comey, Peter Strzok, Andrew McCabe, calling them clowns and losers. But like I said, like everybody follows their heart, and I do agree with you. Just simply getting back at Dems is not enough. So I do agree with you on that. But for me personally, I have other reasons. I like his foreign policy. The peace between North and South Korea, I think, is a monumental accomplishment. I don't think that Trump is given enough credit with that. The media is just trying to a good thing, whether it's a good economy or peace between North and South Korea, or even exposing corrupt FBI agents. I mean, you have somebody who lied twice under oath, 4 times total, and Andrew McCabe. It's like nobody even brings it up. So, but I see your point. Oscar H., I see your point, and I respect your point. For me, though, it's not just, I don't just vote for Trump for one reason, even though that's an important reason. For me, it's, it's a lot. There's this really great picture, this Time Life, very, very famous. Let's see if I can go ahead and Private John Winbury. So it's a famous Time Life picture of Private John Winbury leaving his son in World War II, and you see it's son's crying, and it's a very, very famous and deployed to Hawaii. Los Angeles Times. And here's the I want all the soldiers, especially soldiers in war zones. Here's the actual time. The actual photo from 1941, I believe, 1940. Sorry, October 31st, 1940. So this is, if I'm going to pick, I'm not going to pick the Democratic Party for foreign policy because they're more apt to send soldiers abroad. If it was Hillary, it was, regime change, Assad, and then we would be patrolling Damascus. And if you ask the average Democrat, they'd say, well, what's Damascus? So there you go. But October 31st, 1940, Private John G. Winbury gives a hug to Robert Austin Winbury II as he prepares to sail to Hawaii with the California National Guard 251st Coast Artillery Unit. About 750 men boarded the luxury liner at Washington, D.C., joining 1,200 new sailors and 1,000 shipyard workers already on board. The photo of Private John Winbury was published in Time Life, Picture of the Week on November 25th, 1940 issue of Life magazine. So if you look at this photo, this is the photo for me that one reason that I'm voting for Trump, because if I have two choices, Ebenezer Adams, we didn't vote for Trump to vote against Hillary. Trump is doing a great job, so we will be voting for him in 2020 and definitely 18 midterms. Yeah, I mean, Ebenezer Adams in the 2018 midterms could Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. Ladies and gentlemen, all 888 people tonight, I want you to do me a favor. Are you listening? All 896 people tonight. This evening, all 900 people, do me a big favor. Before you close your eyes to go to bed tonight, I want you to envision this and think about this long and hard before you sleep so you have a good dream. Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. Nancy Pelosi going ahead and running the House of Representatives or dictating what takes place in the House of Representatives. Doing everything possible to stop every investigation into Bruce or Peter Strzok, doing everything possible to stop Freedom of Information Act requests. Yes. Think of Nancy Pelosi. Close your eyes tonight and think Nancy Pelosi, the Katharine Hepburn of politics. Katharine Hepburn talk like this. Some people have a funny way of talking. Beautiful way of talking. Nancy Pelosi running Congress or impeaching Trump, trying to impeach Trump on Russia with no evidence. Getting the articles before you go to bed tonight. Dream. Yes, do it. All 900 people, 914 people, do this. Before you go to bed, why did I watch H.A. Goodman's live stream? Why? Oh, the guy is crazy. Close your eyes and simply think of Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. And if you don't like that dream, if you don't like that image, then vote Republican in the midterms. Register to vote. Make sure you tell your friends there has to be a red wave. Because if not, then Democrats, but I already know that Democrats are going to lose the House anyway. But anyway, I've already stated that. But if you're into the Second Amendment like I am, I have friends who have told me they would rather just erase the Second Amendment. You don't need it. And I'm not joking. oh, well, this firearm is used and for these tragedies. Okay. We got to ban that firearm. Okay. What about other firearms? Well, then, then that's used. And then that's used. Ban that and ban that and ban. Anything they don't like, ban. Well, this person was saying some crazy thing. Ban him. Well, what about this firearm? Ban that. Ban thoughts, ban inanimate objects, ban everything. Oscar H. So you can honestly tell me that Trump is someone outside of the Uniparty like his supporters say. He is the outsider that will fix the nation. I don't see it. No, Oscar, he's not an outsider. No. He's an insider in terms of money, connections, power. He was friends with Hillary for most of his life. He gave money to the Clinton Foundation. Oh, no, I agree with you. You're making points that I actually agree with. The thing is, his mentality, all you have to do, for me, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, James Comey, Don Lemon at CNN, and the average person who won't let a Trump voter eat their hamburger. Okay. So who hates Trump? Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Max Boot, CNN producers. You have a pretty nice tent and umbrella of people who hate Trump, which makes him outside of the uniparty system. Now, is he still, in other ways, very much a part of it? Yes. But he's not going to engage in a regime change anytime soon. He's not going to go ahead and punch Putin in the face. They want him to do that. He's not doing it. He's not going to go ahead and say, oh, well, China is dumping steel. We're not going to really do anything. You can stop dumping steel, China, please, please. No, he's going to tariff. Trump's like, tariff. And so that's the thing. Trump does things that are of the norm. Is he God, Jesus, Elvis? No, but he's a pretty good president in my view. And the uniparty system, unfortunately, who could have stopped that? Oscar, in my view, Bernie could have said, you know what? I'm not even going to do the gesture because that's against YouTube policies, but he could have told the DNC to what, and actually ended a two-party system. How about Bernie joining the Green? You know how many people he would have taken with him? How about Bernie and Green Party starting their own thing? But no. Bernie Sanders sold his soul to the devil. And now his movement is single payer, which Ocasio-Cortez will not debate anyone on. Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens. So there you go. Max Morrow. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Max Morrow. Thank you. So, Oscar, the uniparty system exists, but what could have prevented it? Well, Bernie Sanders had voters who were cheated of $200 million. In my view, I was of the mentality at that point, please, Bernie, run independent. Go ahead, break away. He could have single-handedly torn apart the two-party system. Democrats still lost. They lost anyway. They lost the election anyway. They'll lose the midterms anyway. Do you see the unholy biblical, this horrible the vitriol, insanity that they leveled upon the Green Party? I mean, Oscar, the Green Party that's what you're looking for. And I respect the Green Party. I voted for Jill Stein. But they hate her. They hate. And they were like, one person said, I hate the Green Party with the power of 1,000 suns. This was a Democratic journalist, liberal journalist, Democrat Party. Conservative to the core. Thank you. Conservative to the core. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Conservative to the core. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Max Morrow. Thank you, conservative to the core. Thank you, conservative to the core. So, Oscar, I respect your mentality, your viewpoint, 100%, because for a long time, I had the same viewpoint for me, and I changed for, the reasons, FBI agents are exposed, all that stuff now. Good economy. I like his foreign policy. And then people, they were about, well, what about this? What about that? Yeah, what about Hillary Clinton calling black youth super predators? Trump is not going to win any diplomatic contests, but he certainly is not racist. People say that he's racist, but they don't say Hillary was racist. That's the problem. That's the problem. And Oscar, I think that for this time period, you could have either had Bernie tearing down the Democratic Party or Trump. And we have Trump now single-handedly tearing down. He's amazing. Every single day, I've tuned out like the media spin, but so thank you, Oscar, and thank you, conservatives to the core. Every single day, they go after Trump as if he was a walking criminal. And they actually let a real walking criminal loose, and they don't go ahead. And meanwhile, no, Alexander M. Gonzalez, he didn't collude with Hillary. I didn't say he sold his soul. The difference. I'm not saying that he colluded. I'm not saying that he was in on it. I haven't gone there yet. I don't have it within my heart to say that, he went ahead and ran the campaign knowing that even if he lost, he wouldn't fight back. You don't run an anti-establishment campaign, get cheated by the establishment, and then kiss the establishment's butt. You have to stand up for yourself in life. Now, that doesn't mean going up against, 5-10 guys. I'm just gonna stand up for myself. Some things are stupid. You don't pick a fight. You don't write a check that your behind can't cash. That's not standing up for yourself necessarily. You want to go ahead, like I said, a lot of times you live, but you know what? You need to stand up for yourself. If Bernie Sanders was cheated, his voters were cheated, defend your voters. Nico House, Jared Beck, Elizabeth Beck are defending Bernie's voters. And nobody talked about that DNC fraud lawsuit. People gave money. People gave money with the belief that their favored candidate could win. If Trump was ever cheated, he would go from orange to red, and steam would come out of his ears, and his hair would actually engulf in flames. And he would eat up, literally, like cannibalize the people who cheated him. If he was ever cheated, he would not only fight back, he would destroy the system that cheated him. Alexander M. Gonzalez, no, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do MAGA. The Yahtzee one. Need to load this off my mind. Norwegian media is reporting about walkway being created by Russians. Things we need to put up with. The Yahtzee one. The Yahtzee one. Thank you from Norway. The Yahtzee one. The Yahtzee one. I'm just honored that you watch me from Norway, and please tell people in Norway about this channel, and just thank you so very, very much. And the Yahtzee one, you're awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's like hashtag everything. Isn't it interesting how everything they don't like is a Russian plot? At what point will they continue? At what point will it not work? That's what I want to know. I want to know when it's not going to work. I want to know when losing so much makes it impossible for you to blame, like, Russia. What a stupid thing. Like, you wouldn't even allow a child, like, where's your homework? The Russians took my homework. What? Oscar H. I honestly see what you're saying. Trump is a must at this point. The hero that we deserve, if you will. But what after this? We must do better. Oscar, I think this is what's going to happen. I think that Democrats are run by like this cult mentality. When they lose in 2020, because they're going to lose, and when they lose first of all, when they lose the midterms, and Alexander M. Gonzalez and everybody who's still Bernie watching me, I love you, thank you, because that's where I come from. I'm letting you know, when Democrats lose, they're going to do what they did against the Greens to Bernie. You're next. That's the Democratic playbook. So, Oscar, what they're going to do is they're going to destroy officially Bernie's movement. So if Ocasio-Cortez feels, is not very happy that Ben Shapiro wanted to debate her, you're going to have Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and everyone say, no, we can't have this anymore. What's going to take place is they're going to attack the Bernie Sanders movement, whatever is left of it, which is really, it's not a movement anymore. It's a sanctioned wing of the Democratic Party. It's not a movement. It's a sanctioned wing. They don't say, bring home our soldiers from war. You need a political party to say, bring home our soldiers from war. The closest we get to that is Trump when he said that about a certain country, and then, oh, what a coinkydink. And you need that. What they're going to do, what they did to the Green Party, which was kind of hilarious, sad too, sad, very sad, but hilarious, because it wasn't even like Alexander Gonzalez, Cuomo admits Hillcamp bought dossier, then brush it off. Exactly. What they do is they always admit, then brush off. It's true, brush off. Well, that's true, but brush off. Oh my gosh. So Bill Maher have gone off the deep land with wild dreams of visioning Secret Service physically removing POTUS when he loses in 2020. Yeah, right. That ain't going to happen. Warren is not going to become president because Warren did not stick up for Bernie Sanders. Elizabeth Warren has a zero chance of becoming president because all the things that she wanted, breaking up too big to fail banks, all these things. So thank you, the Yahtzee one. Thank you, the Yahtzee one. Thank you. All the great things that you could go ahead. Hillary is. When I was saying that she's going to get indicted in 2016, she should have. It was a cover-up. But now there's truckloads, plane loads of evidence. I mean, it's like, you can't just go and the beast, it takes time. It takes time and it's going to happen. She will get indicted and that will take place. But I mean, just the 757s, think of, there's DOJ giant planes going from the DOJ to Little Rock. You need Space Force to get all the evidence actually, but where was I? So, yeah, I mean, Trump's now going to declassify not just the FISA, but also Comey's, Mccabe's texts. And they're done. I mean, their power is dwindling exponentially, and Trump's power is increasing exponentially every week and month. And I happen to think because he nominated the new CIA chief, Haspel, I happen to think that you have Haspel that wouldn't be my choice. I understand Bush era torture, all that stuff. But I'm saying just in terms of politics. You have Haspel at the CIA, you have Pompeo at the State Department, which is where everything went down with Clinton. Christopher Wray at the FBI, even the whole thing with Sessions is probably more of a game than anything else. Sessions was probably like, give me some time. What do you want me to do? I got to do my Sessions eventually again. But maybe Trump will tweet to get... Maybe Trump tweets will get CNN and MSNBC to finally mention the cozy relationship between Bruce Orr and Christopher Steele. Chuck Ross, great journalist at Daily Caller. Exactly. You have all of these. And then you have Larry Elder trying to debate Sarah Jong, and Sarah Jong blocked him. The left cannot sustain. Like, I'll debate anyone with a platform. Like, it's not a problem. But the thing is, like, Alexander M. Gonzalez, we don't care all the way too political. But the thing is like, it's not, all of this stuff is not sustainable, meaning you cannot go ahead and speak with such hyperbole and then refuse to just discuss your vantage point. Ebenezer Adams, if Trump is successful, what comes after is the rule of law. By the way, Pale Squad running lie will never win. Pale Squad. Ebenezer Adams, thank you. Patricia Moreno, Cortez could still lose in the general. Joe Crowley would be on the November voucher. Oh my God. Working People's Party. Wow. That's true. Patricia Moreno, that's true. Wow. Could you imagine the chaos that would ensue if Crowley then beats Ocasio-Cortez? Tricky Vicky, HRC is not just a criminal, she's a supervillain. Yes, that's true. It's kind of like the Hair Club for Men thing. Hillary she's not just a member, she's controls the whole thing. Ebenezer Adams, if Trump is successful, yep. Elizabeth Warren, this is the thing. Yeah, so 2 truckloads of planes in the Clinton Foundation. Yes, picking for a cause. Yes. So 2 truckloads, 2 757s from the DOJ to Little Rock. It is happening, ladies and gentlemen. That's in addition, like, that just bolsters the actual, what's taking place. The FBI Clinton Foundation probe is taking place. Starting in January, we heard about it. Ebenezer Adams, Russians, you must look up Richard Painter, Comedy Gold. He is nuts with Reds under the bed. So hold on one second. So hold on. Oh, the founding fathers would have impeached Trump in a New York minute. No, they wouldn't have. No, they wouldn't have. You're talking about business. These businesses were not an issue. I love how Trump's businesses are an issue. They're for profit. And Clinton's foundation is not an issue. The emoluments issue, a clause, would pertain a lot more to Clinton's foundation. When there's Saudi princes and everyone funneling money into it, Uranium One officials, and then getting beneficial treatment, either access or actual uranium sale, all of these things. Now you say, well, you don't know, she couldn't stop the deal. No, but Obama could, and he didn't. And Uranium One officials gave money into the Clinton Foundation. If the tables were turned, they would say that Trump, everything, like I said, all the different. This is interesting. So, opinion. Confused by emoluments, the founding fathers would have impeached Trump in a New York minute. No, they wouldn't have. Conservatives, we are told, the founding fathers were all very wealthy themselves. And the founding fathers wouldn't like the NSA either. Founding fathers wouldn't have gotten into the whole bunch of neoconservative foreign entanglements that Democrats are so fond of. Conservatives, we are told, believe in strict adherence to the Constitution. Okay, here we go with the straw man arguments, based primarily on the text and secondarily on the views of founding fathers. Also Supreme Court cases. If conservatives really were originalists, they would be the first to say Donald Trump is exactly the kind of president who ought to be impeached. Why? Unique among presidents, Trump has divided loyalties. No. How does anyone come to this conclusion? He has divided loyalties by tariffs, he has divided loyalties by going ahead and imposing tariffs upon countries that he has business in. He has entangled his business interests with official duties. How so? And then he points to the author points to a Hill article. Senate Dems hint Trump's hotel behind president's obsession to renovate. What? That's hilarious. Renovate FBI headquarters. Dems hint Trump hotel may be behind president's obsession to renovate FBI headquarters. Statement here: he has entangled his business interests with official duties. That does not correlate to the hyperlink. Creating the impression, if not the reality, that his own financial interests, creating the impression is different from reality, but if not the reality, that his own financial interests guides his thoughts and actions. Rudy Giuliani has talked about a RICO case involving UBS, the IRS, and Clinton. So Ebenezer Adams, thank you. This is an article that was actually retweeted. This is unbelievable. Like, I'm not even going to read more of the article. You can just break it down. It's a Market Watch article. It's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. I mean, it's just absolutely hilarious. Like, you go ahead and is the definition of violations regarding the Emoluments. Let's go ahead and just read. So there's no official action. It's like they can't get their propaganda straight. Oh my God, he's too much of a nationalist. He's embarking on all these tariffs that are really hurting our allies. Trump is hurting our allies. Then, oh my God, Trump is focusing on other countries, not us. Like, which one is it? Which one is it? Like, pick a propaganda, any propaganda. The title of nobility clause, the provision in Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8 of the United States Constitution that prohibits the federal government from granting titles of nobility and restricts members of government from receiving gifts, emoluments. How are for-profit businesses offices or titles from foreign states? So Clinton can actually break this through her quote-unquote charitable foundation, which raises $10 billion to Haiti and then doesn't. A salary from employment or office. But he's not running, like, so you cannot have a business outside the United States. You can't have business interests. So, okay, then Bill Clinton speaking to a Russian bank that has nothing to do with Hillary running. The founding fathers would be okay with that. No, because it's not Hillary. Okay. Not only did it have not only do his business interests have zero to do with his conduct as president, but the statements made here are not accurate. Let's go back. The founding fathers, savvy students of history and human nature. Well, really? Human nature. The Clinton Foundation is an overt money laundering graft scheme. Overt. You have UBS. You have, well, first of all, while she was in office, she lobbied on behalf of Boeing and UBS because they gave money. Or if you want to say not because they gave money, they happened to give money, then she lobbied. to help with the IRS and to help with a deal. She actually got and allowed 20% of U.S. uranium capacity to be sold to Putin. And money flowed into the Clinton Foundation, but there's no connection there in the Emoluments clause. And then we go, okay. So utterly corrupt administration. I love how like the corruption is hilarious because there's no evidence that of any real corruption. Like you might have, oh, Scott Pruitt. Okay, then, you know, he's no longer there. The facts of the case are clear. Foreign and state officials do not patronize his businesses with the express purpose of currying his favor. Oh, sorry. Foreign and state officials do patronize his businesses with the express. How do you know this? His thing is a for-profit venture, not a networking venture and a graft venture. That's Clinton. Where's the uranium sale? Where's the Boeing deal? Where's the UBS tax issue? Where's all this? Where's the Chicago commodities trader? Where's the example that Trump actually did something for money? And why would he? He was already a billionaire before he became president. Trump is soliciting business from foreign officials and U.S. politicians. Really? How? He's losing money. He's the only businessman who actually lost money becoming president. Every single possible negative article is written about him. How on earth is this a... How on earth is this... That's hilarious. So these are the same people who are like, the Clinton Foundation is nothing. Haiti, weapons deals. That's David Sirota. Money flowed into the Clinton Foundation, and then foreign countries got weapons deals. Yeah, George Washington would not want that. None of them would be cool with that. None of them. So he uses the emoluments. Then you know what? And he gives all his businesses to his daughter or his sons, and then he's no longer officially part of his business. So I mean, like, what are you going to do? Trump's business endeavors are for profit, and they were making just as much profit, if not more, before he. Ebenezer Adams. Okay, I will. Ebenezer Adams, thank you. You need to see. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ebenezer Adams, as always. Thank you, Adams, as always. So you have this situation here where they're constantly grasping at straws. Tricky Vicky, Mueller is another supervillain. HRC, Mueller, Comey, a crime syndicate since 1980. Trump has not done any. People are stupid. Yeah, they are. You said it better than me, Tricky Vicky. You said it better than me. He hasn't done anything near impeachable. That's actually perfect. He didn't lie about a you-know-what like Bill Clinton. He didn't break into the Democrat committee headquarters. There was no break-in like in Watergate. They don't even have any evidence regarding the DNC being hacked. They never gave their computer service to the FBI. The DNC was never... The U.S. government never looked at these 100 servers. There was a Daily Beast article the other day like, well, it's 100 servers. See how wrong stupid Trump is? It's like... That actually bolsters Trump's argument. You are hiding over 100 servers from the United States government and then saying that that they were hacked by Russia. You have zero evidence of that. Zero evidence. And in this day and age where everything could be tracked and the NSA has a $10 billion budget, they can't find the actual Russian hackers. Mueller did not indict Russian hackers. He indicted people conspiring with Russian hackers to hack into the DNC. If it was the Russian government, why would they rely on third-party hackers? Oh, well, the Russian government doesn't want to be implicated. Okay, well, where are the hackers actually? Do these Russian hackers, ladies and gentlemen, where are the Russian hackers? Where are these hackers? Where are they? Are they invisible? Do Russian hackers exist? Are they invisible? Do they even use email? Do they have computers? Tamara Friedman. So Tricky Vicky, thank you so much. Tamara Friedman. Hello, HA. Thanks for all you do. I think this color matches your shirt today. I love everyone on this channel, and we all love you, Tamara Friedman. Thank you so very, very much as always, Tamara Friedman. Thank you so very much as always. And yeah, I mean, it's really, really unbelievable, Tamara, that this is all going down right now. It's like 2 giant planes, and I'm telling you, they need Space Force. You're going to see like the space shuttle just launch from Little Rock. It'll be like DOJ officials were loading the space shuttle, a new space shuttle, full of documents. This has absolutely nothing to do with the Clinton Foundation ongoing FBI probe. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Could you imagine if a 757 jet would like parked near, one of the Trump Foundation or Trump Hotel or whatever, and people were like going ahead and DOJ officials were like going ahead and funneling papers into, oh my God, it would be nonstop. Oh my God, he's going to be impeached. He's going to be impeached. It's the hyperbole. It's the hyperbole. The hyperbole is the issue. So Tara Friedman, thank you so very, very much. Thank you so very, very much. The hyperbole, the sky is falling. It's always the sky is falling. Do you believe in climate change? Do you believe in climate change? Do you believe in climate change? Fracking boom, oil boom, Standing Rock, all under President Obama. See, the thing is, they're saying, well, a Democrat would be much better. Really? Well, look what he did with the Paris Climate Accords. Yeah, and look, there was an oil boom under President Obama, and a fracking boom, and 10 Keystone XL-sized pipelines. Let's see. How many miles of pipelines were built under Obama? How many miles of pipelines? 12,000 miles of pipelines. Over 12,000 miles of pipelines. Over 12,000 miles of pipelines under President Obama, and this is the Green president. And he's just give him a free pass. It's okay. It's okay. Everything will be fine. But you better believe in climate change. I do believe in climate change, but I also don't believe Democrats really care. You have 12,000 miles of pipelines built under Obama, but he believes in climate change. How does that work? Then you hear like, well, it's just marginally better than the Republicans. So then therefore, Thank you, Picking for a Cause. Thank you. I would love to, actually. But like, it's just like, that's like, you know, like my friends now, when they debate me, will have this, like, one of my buddies, you know, he, you know, tries to insult me, whatever. One of my friends from high school tries to insult me, and then we have other friends that are on this group text, and then they what is he? My friend called me a propaganda machine for Trump. So, and so I was like, okay, and so Ebenezer Adams, nice. I'm making gun parts on my million. Nice. Will I be banned? If I am, will I dream? I'm making nice. Be careful. I'm sure you're a pro. Ebenezer Adams, that's very, very cool. Nice. I mean, and that's the thing, like, I think that's really, like, you know, to make your own bullets and rounds, and I think that's really cool. I mean, it's probably something that I could never do. I'm not really good at building things, but like when I have to get, because I don't want to, like, I'll wait like years from now when it's more conducive. But like if I get my even my guns cleaned, I'll take it to the range, and they actually do that, and a gunsmith there, and they can clean whether it's my AR or whatever, the CZ, you know. But yeah, Ebenezer Adams, very cool. Tamara Friedman, thank you. So, listen, you can thank me later, and just think of it as motivation. Nancy Pelosi doing yoga. It's already in your mind. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen. No, seriously, you definitely don't want Nancy Pelosi being Speaker of the House. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very, very, very much. We're over 2 hours, and we still rocking 800 plus. God bless you all. Have a great, great Saturday. I'll see you today several times, a little later on. And this was awesome. This was an awesome live to my super chat. Thank you so very much, Tamara. Thank you again, Chad. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. And the channel doesn't grow, but you know what? It grows slowly, and it's really super fun. We had an amazing live stream today. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great, 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 great day. And thank you again. Hit subscribe to 800 people watching. Hit subscribe right now. Share this segment everywhere throughout social media. Thank you so very much.